Take a moment to think about what was important to you as a child. Now think of these same things, but as an adult. Have you ever wondered how your brain works and why you do the things you do? We'll explain how our thought processes change over time and the different stages of development, beginning with infancy and ending with elderly. The most critical time for a child's development is the first 2 years of their life. It's crucial for the infant to bond with their parents at birth to create secure attachment. Early childhood is birth to 8 years. Infants usually double their birth weight by 4 months and triple by the first year. Most weight gain is fat, which is needed to nourish the brain. They also spend most of their time sleeping, and their brain is 25% of its adult weight. The brain communicates by nerve cells, which are called neurons. At age 2, unused neurons die, a process called pruning. Thinking and learning require these connections throughout the brain. That's why your primary caregiver is so important. Brain development relies on genes and experiences, which is called the nature versus nurture debate. Nature is the genes you inherit, and nurture is environmental influences such as your family, school, and culture. Between the ages 3 and 5, children grow rapidly in motor skills. They learn 300 to 1,000 words at the first 3 years, and children copy an adult's behavior, which is called deferred imitation. Your culture and family have a big impact on how you develop. Middle childhood is ages 8 to 12 years, and it hasn't been considered an important stage in the human development. Sigmund Freud labeled this stage the latency stage in psychoanalytical theory. During this stage, they learn the values of society. Physical development and cognitive development is slow until puberty. In this stage, social relationships are influenced by their peers and family. School is important when developing self-esteem. Adolescence is 12 to 18 years of age and begins with sexual maturity and ends with establishing your identity. The primary task during adolescence is identity formation. Growth is accelerated and can grow to 4 inches and gain 10 pounds per year. The pituitary gland releases hormones during puberty. Cognitive development is enhanced by experiences and develops metacognition, its ability to reflect one's thoughts. Erikson's idea in lifespan development is identity versus role confusion. This is where you search for independence and identity. Emotional development is evident due to hormones and mood swings. Searching for independence involves your views and society's norms to fit in. John Watson founded behaviorism, the belief that behavior can be changed by experiences. Next, we will discuss the developmental stages from adulthood to late adulthood.
Adulthood is an important stage in one's life, and at this stage there are a few things happening that are taking place physically and mentally, as well as with your development of your cognitive powers. And we'll be talking about those 3 today, about how the brain develops, the different body changes that take place, as well as psychosocial development. First, we're going to talk about brain development. At this point in your life, your cognitive powers are pretty well developed, and so the decisions you make aren't as impulsive as they may have been in your early adulthood or even in your adolescence. And so the things you do are more thought through. And also at this point, your brain is grown to its capacity, and all the different areas have grown to the best they're going to get at this point. And so your brain is doing fairly well at this point, and it's not going to grow much more, but you can increase your intelligence, as we'll talk about later. Some different body changes that take place are, you might notice things as you age. For instance, you might get wrinkles. That's a common thing, and your hair might start to thin or turn gray or even turn white in some cases. And another thing is, in women around this age of middle to late adulthood, they hit menopause. And that's roughly ages 40 to 50 years old. And also, there's the decline of some of your organs starts to take place from this point on, in middle adulthood on into late adulthood. And this could be with your heart, for instance. It's been working for many years, so it isn't going to be as efficient as it used to be. And so it has to work harder to pump blood and circulate it throughout your body. And so you'll become tired of doing physical things that you might not have been able have had a problem with when you were in your early adulthood or in your adolescence. And then your lungs, they also start to decline and don't work as efficiently as exchanging gases. And this might be a result of your career that you had and where you worked in the environment, pollutants, as well as if you made certain life choices you may have made. Smoking, for instance, that might be detrimental to how your lungs are now. And then there's the digestive system. It doesn't work as well as it used to, and so you also need to watch how your diet is. Finally, we're going to talk about psychosocial development. And one of the old theories was that when you're in your adolescence, you're at your peak of intelligence, and then from then on, your intelligence declined. This has actually been proven to be false, because even up to age 60, you can learn different things and increase your intelligence. For instance, vocabulary increases. And also, one more thing is that at this point, your personality is fairly constant from here on, and so you aren't going to change much psychosocially. But now that we've talked about how the brain works, we're going, in adulthood as well as the body, we're going to look into this and how it changes again, and how we might view things differently in our senior years.
What happens to us as we continue to age? Did you know that our brain loses approximately 10% of its weight between the ages of 20 and 90? We lose around 40,000 nerves per day. So by age 65, roughly 1/10 of our brain cells are gone. Furthermore, the rate of loss is higher in the frontal brain region, which controls problem solving, the ability to think abstractly, and the ability to carry out multiple tasks simultaneously. What does this mean? As a natural process of aging, humans experience a progressive decline in overall brain functions. This causes us to lose our ability to store and retrieve short-term memory, employ abstract reasoning, and easily learn new information. Many neurological diseases are also directly related to aging. Aging negatively influences cognitive functions in many ways, including changes in lifestyle, diet, and energy. So does this help explain why our social activities change? At one time, it was believed that as we age, we begin to gradually withdraw from social, vocational, and relationship roles as we face the prospect of our lives ending. But is this really the case? What does being social mean for an older adult? Does it mean pursuing hobbies, traveling, being a caregiver, or just puttering around our homes? Being a social as an older adult can mean any of these things and is something different for each individual. Many older adults find themselves caring for others. This can be for grandchildren or sick spouses. One thing that remains the same among older adults is the need for psychological well-being, feeling that their lives have been meaningful. Now you may be wondering what happens to our bodies as we age. Aging in late adulthood profoundly affects appearance, sensation, and motor abilities. Our reflexes become slower, our vision less sharp, and our overall health may begin to decline. But this too varies from one individual to the next. Many may glide through adulthood with minor issues, while others may suffer many. But what's important to remember about people over the age of 65 is that while many may begin to experience some physical or mental limitations, they learn to live with them and live happy and productive lives.